Someone has stepped across the threshold this evening as our newest house guest. They're crossing over from the normal world into our haunted house. Welcome to the Looks Creepy Cool podcast, part of Haunted House FearFest. I'm your host, Renee, and tonight I'm joined by the game developer Uki Eiri behind Sucks to Be in the Sticks, a single player demo game from Co-Action featured in this year's Creepy Cool showcase. Sucks to Be in the Sticks is a game where the supernatural bleeds into the personal. The vampire who turned you cursed you with a cruel hunger. While others live on human energy, only blood can truly sustain you, and drinking it drags you into strangers' deepest sorrows, visions that will haunt you soon enough. Now, together, Yuki and I will wander room by room through the haunted house and uncover what makes this game so creepy cool. Let's step inside. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm very fine, and it's just next day after Halloween, so I think it's a perfect time for the podcast.
Yes, yes. No, and Yuki's talking to us. And so our audience, I like to call them the watchers of the house. And so Yuki, like fear is in every language. So I know I'm gonna butcher this. This is in Finnish, and I'm trying to say this. So I have the toi la lune kamu tustin ta lune. So I want to say, welcome to the House of Terrors where fear speaks every language. I know I butchered that, but I'm sorry.
Tervetuloa, yes.
Oh, okay. I will get better because I love to honor horror from all across the world. And yeah, so I love to do that. So, everyone, now, if you're a regular to the podcast, but if you're new to the podcast, I'm going to take Yuki through different parts of the room. So, we're going to start off with the creepy kitchen watchers of the house, where she'll share her ingredient of fear, the library of shadows on what inspired our house guests, the mirror room, which reflects on her horror origin story, the basement brief or basement stairs reveal industry secrets or lessons. The attic call will talk about what's pulling her forward. And the final room where she'll share the most creepiest moment and the most coolest moment that has ever happened to her. So Yuki is her your nickname, right?
Yeah.
And how to pronounce your first name? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's Alona.
Alona. Okay, so she said I could call her Yuki, guys. But if you want me to, I can call. So I might switch it back from Alona to Yuki. So Alona. So in your game, was there a moment mid development where you realized this scene or choice will haunt me for a long time as you were developing it?
Yeah, there is one plot line. It's not in the demo because it starts a bit later in purpose because it's a very dark line,
Mm.
and it's something I took from my friend. And it talks about a story of a vampire girl. She's like around 17 when she was turned. And it's a very tragic and very scary story in general. Should I go into details?
Yes.
It's not fun at all.
It's okay. This is the Creepy Cool podcast, of course.
Yeah. And it's a story about a girl who was sexually assaulted when she was a child. And then, like she grows up and she realizes what happened to her, and she just escapes the house, like she goes to another city to study, and she almost forgets what happened to her until one day when she's having this graduation from this kind of like high school, or some kind of like college, and she's attacked by her grandfather who turns her into a vampire. And in this game, when you're turned into vampires, the vampire who turns you, they die and they live inside you. So she gets the grandfather who, like, did all that horrible things now living inside of her and talking to her. And that's like what we are exploring in the game, like how to live with that stuff. And of course, it's an allegory to a real life because that's what like victims have when they live with this kind of traumas.
Yeah, that is creepy. Wow. Well, you did warn me. Wow. Then it's so creative on how you took that horrible story and then with your game and everything. So, wow. Wow. That is really dark. So, my
It
next question.
is.
That's really so my next question I have for you then, like, that's living inside her. So what flavor does she carry? Is it like regret, power, emptiness? If you had to choose a flavor, what would it be?
I think it's honestly a lot of guilt.
Mm,
Yeah, she feels like she has a lot of guilt, a lot of, self-hate, a lot of like, like not wanting to be here.
yeah, and she can't die. She's a vampire. Unless
She
she gives it yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's also not that simple because,
Mm,
she also became a vampire unofficially in that sense. Like nobody knew that it happened. And
mm,
she didn't know who she was until some time. And now she still lives in this kind of non-official vampire circles. So
wow.
there's a lot of complexity in that character. And that's why I love that character the most because, like if you want to invest into that story, you can actually get it into like all right ending.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wow. Oh, so I have so actually,
Mhm.
this is leading me into because we go from room to the house, and it really depends upon the story. So the Library of Shadows. Now I'm curious now, like you told us about the idea and where it came from. So the setting, I would say, is a bit unusual. It's a vampire in a decaying town doing run of the mill jobs. Like what drew you to that contrast?
Yeah, I'm actually an immigrant in Finland.
Oh,
So I was born and raised in Russia in a very, very small northern
mhm,
town. So
mhm.
like very, very long nights.
Wow.
And I always dreamt about when I was a child that there would be a book or a movie or anything about my hometown. Because,
Mm,
it felt like it's always happening somewhere else. And then I moved 15 years ago when I was still a teenager. And I kind of just kept being nostalgic about that times because, back then it wasn't that bad as it is now in the country.
yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted to imagine the world there, like if nothing bad ever happened. And,
Mm,
like if it just continued the way of like a good way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And then, but then your game involves horror and everything. So based off of where you came from and then the horror element to it, like what other facts of horror like resonated in your life? Did it start with a book? Did it start with like a film as well? How did that seep through?
Well, I always wanted to just make games
Mm,
because, I thought that we live in a time when the books, they don't do anything. Like, you
mhm,
can write a book and it's so little chance for you to get there. But games are harder and it's easier to get your ideas through the games, especially because, you let the person play as some kind of character and immerse into the experience
mm,
and the ideas go through there much easier. And also, even though the game is very dark, like this is only one of the lines the game has, like all of them are very dark, the game is still pretty hopeful. Like,
mm,
it's about a quite happy person who knows how to live in a small town, who knows how to enjoy the life, who wants to like help others even though they're drowning in the madness because they have to
yeah.
drink blood.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the feeling I had when I was growing up there that, like
Wow.
I felt very outside. Like I was
Mm.
still very happy and trying my best, but I always felt like I'm kind of doomed there.
Really? Was it also like not just where you live, but also like, like you're a game developer. Was that more accepted where you like with your family and everything? Or was it, like, oh, why are you gonna be a game developer? Be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that?
No, I'm actually very blessed with a
Mm.
family. My parents are super supportive. And when I told them that I want to move to Finland, they said, yeah, sure, like go be whatever you want. Because, my parents grew in very not supportive families. Like my
Mm.
mom, she wanted to be a doctor, and her mom sent her to be a completely different, like sewing stuff, which made her very uncomfortable. And, they actually tried for me to make my life as good as possible. So
Oh,
yeah, they're very supportive and
that's great. Oh, that's so great. Not many people have that support. So when you're a creator, sometimes it is a lonely world and everything. So has your mom or dad played any of your games or this game or
Yeah, they don't know about the darkness of the game, to be
Oh.
honest. Like, just because it was very nice to show them because it's basically where they live, and to
Mhm.
see it in the game, it was really good for them.
Awesome. Oh, wow. So looking at your earlier work or your developer journey, is there a truth about yourself? Like, do you see reflected in like the game's themes in a way? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been writing since 2010, and my writing started with a course. It's maybe you heard about the company. It's called Write Like a Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did a course with them. It
Okay.
was,
Okay.
and there I learned that most of people, when they write about themselves,
Mm.
about their own experiences, their friends, and one of the secret of the game is that 95% things actually happened in real life.
Yeah. Well, except for the
Yeah,
vampires, unless I don't know.
who
I
knows?
do believe there were vampires. We just don't know it. And maybe there still are. We just will never know. Like there might be still be a
Yeah,
Lestat or Vlad or things like that. So
I'm hoping for the stuff.
yeah, I just don't want to meet them. Or maybe I do. I don't know. It depends where I am in my life.
Yes. Well, Lestat would be very safe unless you're a criminal.
Yeah. 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 So true. So true. But you could survive anything if that's the case,
Yeah,
you know? Um,
exactly.
so next we're gonna move into I see we're gonna go down to the basement stairs. And one of the basement brief for the basement stairs, and you explore like heavy themes. There's identity, survival, and power. Was there a time you worried the message might overshadow the game? And how did you solve that, like when you were developing it?
Yeah, there's actually one thing about the
Mm.
game which keeps, appearing everywhere in the comments when I like talk about the game. The main character of the game is non-binary person,
Oh.
and people hate it.
Oh, wow.
Like, people are asking like, are they a man or a woman? Or like, can I choose pronounces and this kind of stuff? And I'm not a non-binary, I'm a cis female and everything, but I
Mhm.
just thought it would be nice to have a character like that. That's my partner is non-binary, so it was
Mhm.
very easy to just write it from them.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a bit afraid that this can affect a lot how people see the game because you probably heard about like Undertale. It's like what people are still, like fighting about.
Yeah, but I just say, I mean, there's always going to be every challenge, no matter what you do, and you
Mhm.
can't please everyone, So as long as, look, your demo game is part of Haunted House FearFest. And, I'm the
Yeah.
owner of the festival and it's all inclusive, So, and honoring, fear and games from everywhere. So if it has a great story and everything, like that's what people should really honor. But no, yeah, you're gonna experience challenges anywhere you go. So, yeah, just keep on
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah, and like I'm actually, sometimes people ask me why, like, what do I want to like tell people with my game?
Mm.
And it's nothing. It's just I'm doing it for my own pleasure.
Yeah, but that's great though. That's great though. I mean, that's great though because you put as a game developer or anything, you put so many hours into a project and you have to enjoy what you're doing. If you don't, then like what's the point of doing it, you know?
I know, and that's very true. It's been like 3 years doing it, so.
Wow, wow. So my next question is like is there like a tool or design shortcut that saved you like in certain parts of the game like in making like the decaying small town or like the post-Soviet environment that feel lived in and unsettling? Like what type of tools helped you like create that when you were developing the game?
You mean like organizational tools or some frameworks or
Actually, both. I'm always
okay.
curious with developers and organization because I'm an owner of a festival and I'm always
Ooh.
trying to adapt new ways to stay organized. Like some developers I interviewed, they have like one developer, he had like Mondays I do this, Tuesdays I do that. Or they say, yep, I
Mm.
in the evening I do this and then I make sure on Saturdays or Sundays I spend time like with my family and stuff and I don't answer any emails or I don't even go near my computer. So what is it for you?
Yeah, I use Mirrorboard a lot.
Mm.
You
What
know
is that?
Mirrorboard? Oh, you can like it's Miro.
Okay.
And it's very visual board where you can create like huge diagrams. And I have two main ones, one for planning what I need to do. So, like when I started, I did like for the whole game. And
Mhm.
then I also did on the side for the demo. So like everything like I have to have there, like from the side of scripts, characters, places, everything. And the second board I did for the plot. So, like because it's non-linear and it also can go very different ways. Like it's also very easy to visually see how it goes. So
Gotcha.
that's been my like best friend in game
Wow.
dev. And it's very easy also, like to attach links to docs
Mhm.
and everything. And it's like, for example, if I need somebody's help, like now I'm getting help to like edit the texts. Like I just show it to the editor and she's looking through it and have like a very good understanding what's going on.
Oh, wow. So who told you about that, or did you just do your research and stumbled upon it and tried it?
Yeah, I have a day job as an
Okay.
engineering manager.
Wow.
So I've been in IT for last 14 years, and it's something that I used in one of the companies, and I actually keep bringing it to other companies if they
Mm.
don't use it, because I'm a very visual person. I
Yeah.
hate reading. Books I love, but
Yeah.
like
Yep.
documentation is no.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
it's a really helpful.
I'm
Oh,
gonna try that. Is that available in the US or?
everywhere, and I think
Oh,
two boards are for free, and two boards is
okay.
enough.
Yeah, after the interview, send me the link, and I'd love to
Yes.
put it and try it myself. So, yeah.
Yes, you should, and it's just a miracle. And
Mhm.
for like how I do the game, I've been on therapy for 8 years,
Mm.
and that's an important prerequisite.
Yep.
And I only do things I really like.
Yep.
And for example, every day I ask myself, like, do I want to do the game? And I
Mm.
have an answer if it's yes or no. And if it's no, I try to like, please, what if it's for half an hour? I just do this and that. And it's like, okay. Sometimes it's a hard no, and then I don't touch it. But mostly I'm like, I usually do also like one day off, like even
Okay.
if I want to do it, just not to get burnout.
Yeah.
But, because I have this mirror board and I
Mhm.
know like what I need to get from like, from the game, I always have a few tasks which I can pick up and I just pick up something I really want to do and
Wow.
like I would enjoy.
See, that's awesome. So ask yourself, like, do I really want to do this or not? If not, you just stick to it. See, that's how
Yeah.
you prevent burnout. And that's what I'm going to do as I enter the new season of the festival because there are days I just get burnt out and I just, it's exhausting, and I too have a day job too, so I get that. Okay, so we're still in the basement, but I know you wanna get out of the basement, so I ask all my guests I do a lightning round so that you can quickly go up to the stairs to the next room we have to go to. So, this you answer, like, 1 word, or 2. Blood or moonshine, which created more tension for you?
Moonshine.
Favorite indie horror game you'd whisper to new developers?
Hmm. Indie horror.
Yeah, indie horror game. Favorite indie horror game? Anyone. Could be yours.
Oh my god, it's just on the spot. It's hard. Will be mine then.
Okay,
Sorry.
gotcha. Got just a great answer. So, if you were a vampire in this world, what job would you dread doing?
I would be a night shift doctor.
Oh, you would dread doing that. You have to dread it. Why is that?
Because like at night
Mhm.
the patients are usually dead. Or they're
Oh,
drunk, or
yeah.
they're, crazy. And, I have a friend who works, as a night shift doctor, and her
Mhm.
stories are the worst. Like, they're the scariest things.
Oh
Because,
my
people get crazy at night.
yeah. Well, they get stir crazy. Is there any, like, one that you could share or
Yeah, sure. Like she said, like they got a call and they came with an ambulance to the street, and there was a man, and he was standing and like having like some bugs in his hands and shouting that he has parts of bodies of his wife there. And of course, like they like did some injections to him, like calmed him down, and it was
what?
just like old clothes there, but he was like shouting like that.
Oh my
And
god,
of
that
course, it was really scary because he could have had that there.
So, what happened? Like, the police came, she and her team came
No,
out,
just
like,
ambulance,
just
just
the
ambulance.
ambulance.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It
scary.
actually happened in that small town where the game is taking place.
Wow. See, guys, you heard it here first. Exclusive type background content. So that's crazy. That's scary. How long has she been working there? For quite a while?
Yeah, for 10 years now.
Wow. So she's used to it.
No, she says it's like every time it's like new.
Wow. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want that job either. Okay, so you reached at the top of the stairs, and now I think I hear a call from the attic. And so one thing I want to ask you, like we talked about, like, only do things that like make you happy and everything. And so, like, what major lesson about hard design did this project teach you that you'll carry forward to like your next game?
I think that would be that I do like what I did, that I just enjoy what I do, and also learn to trust others when they want to help me, because that's really hard. Even though, like I'm a person who works in the teams, like I lead the teams.
Yeah.
When it's about my own, it's so hard to delegate anything. Like, I
Yeah.
just want to rub it to myself and just do it.
Mhm.
But sometimes, like, it will mean that it will take years to do things, and it would be nice to, ship something faster.
Yeah, and I get it. It's like your baby, and you want someone to
Yeah.
have the same passion and honor it and respect it like you always do from the beginning. So I totally get that. So what so basically if you were like advising like a new developer, like making horror with like heavy themes, like I know you said like, just do something that you love, but what's like another piece of advice that you would give him or her?
I would say that start when you start the game, if it's your first game, think about all the mechanics that you want to implement and implement them immediately. Like just go one after another just to see, am I able to do that? Or is it too hard? Will it be like, too complex? And do the mechanics and give it somebody to try so
Got
they
it.
can tell you how it is, and you also will understand like how long it will take you, because before I even had like nice visuals. I first did all the mechanics with very very ugly graphics, and I just saw that I'm able to pull it through,
Mhm.
and that's also like showed me the limits. I didn't actually see the limits. I thought I can do everything. So I mean, within 2D, because it's not that hard.
Right. So do you have like to test out your game? Like, I know it's a demo and it's on Steam,
Yeah.
but like, what about where you live? Are there any like, I don't know, like meetups that you go to so people can test your game out or groups that you go to? Like, how is it in Finland?
Yeah, we have like a Discord channel for that
Okay.
where you can find somebody. I usually go a bit safer and I
Mm.
ask my friends. I have a lot of like friends and
Okay.
colleagues, and I just invite them to my home. I put them to my computer
Okay.
and I just like, make notes. And I remember, when I did the first tests, like I would write like 3 pages of notes what to fix.
Wow.
And then like after test number 10, it was like half a page and then it was a couple of sentences. So
Wow.
it's really cool to see how you actually like, getting better and better, and how people, like played, and it was so useful. Like, there was one player and he was commenting to me that like, I now need to save this girl, but I can't, and I have to go and do some other stuff, and I'm just keep thinking about it. And I actually restructured the quests that he actually can finish to save this girl,
Oh.
and not think about it. So it was also very useful, like how people see and how they think about it and what they want to finish before, they progress somewhere else. So it was really useful to have the tests. And with friends, it's also a bit easier because they are nice to you.
You don't want anyone to say, oh, I can't play this or that. Yeah. They give you your
Yeah,
honest
and like they
opinion, but
have to
nice.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to play. They cannot say no. Like like they see you there, and they know they will have to play it for another.
Well, you have really
And,
good friends, like, some friends might not they're probably you know what? If any friends like that, they wouldn't even be a friend, so you'd be like, "Screw
yeah,
it."
yeah,
So,
yeah.
we are winding down, you made it to the end of the haunted house, and this is where we always ask our guests, "What is the creepiest thing that's happened to you, and what's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you?" And it can be in any order.
I will start with creepiest thing.
Mhm.
So I'm originally, like I said, I'm from Russia and I'm from Karelia side.
Okay.
And both of my, like, grand and great great parents, everything from both sides were known witches. Like, just like
Wow.
kind of like not tribal witches, but like, Karelian witches and that kind of stuff. And they were mainly specializing at healing people. And once I was with my grandma and she was telling me the story how one woman cursed her in, like when she was like around 70 or something. And since then, like she has really bad pains and everything. And I thought because, like I'm also holding this gift, I will cure her. So
Wow.
what I needed to do, in my this hometown from the
Yeah.
game, I went to the shop and there was like a shop and part of it was a magic shop.
Okay.
And they sell like magical books and everything with the spells, and the spells, that's what I needed. And I came there and I'm looking through the book. I'm like, like book is like here and I'm next to the wall. And the owner comes, she looks straight to my eyes and she says, "Are you looking for a spell that will lift a curse?" And
What?
I say, yeah, and I say, yes. And she said, like, the woman who put curse had brown eyes. You have green. You will never be able to take it off. And like, I put the book down. I went to my grandma and I asked, like, what was like, how did the woman look like? And she said that she had brown eyes.
That's scary.
It
So,
is.
sorry, the lady in the shop, was she the woman? Did she have brown eyes?
No, no.
Okay.
Like my grandma was from
Yeah.
like a very far village. She just like came to
Mhm.
live with us when she was very old.
Okay.
She was already 80 something. So this woman, she just knew, and then like there was like several incidents very similar to this happening to her. Like she was like a real witch.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
scary.
but it was
Well,
also cool.
oh, oh, it was all that was also cool. I mean, it depends how you look at it. Yeah, so man, so your grandma had those chest pains. Oh my God, that's scary.
It
Wow.
is. Yeah, and I
Wow.
couldn't lift it since I had green eyes.
Wow. But why is that though? Like it's just the way it is, or what does it mean? Symbolize?
Yes, they believe that when you do magic, the brown eyes are the strongest. And the
Mm,
lighter your eyes are, weaker you are, and
mhm.
you cannot affect the magic of people with brown eyes with green.
Wow.
I
Oh,
never read anything about it. I just believed that woman.
yeah.
And I was
Wow.
like 15, so I was already shocked because she could not see what I'm looking at. Like, the book was like very generic, like, you had to go through and there was no mirror or anything. And it
Right.
was like there were similar things that she told later, that she couldn't have known about things, but
Yeah.
she did.
Wow. That is creepy. So, on a lighter note, what's the coolest thing that's ever happened to you?
It will be very strange as well.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just came back from Spain
Mhm.
because I was doing Santiago de Compostela way, Portuguese Camino.
What's
It's
that?
when
I
you
don't know.
walk. It's when you walk from Porto to
Mm,
Santiago de Compostela by feet. It's like
mm.
240 kilometers.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like what pilgrims did.
Okay.
Like there's some kind of like saint died there, and you go see it. But I did it for fun.
Okay. Wow.
So, like I was walking like 20 kilometers a day, sleeping in a hostel, and it was really nice, and it was such a weird experience because I went there just for fun, just to walk around because I love walking. And then on the day 4, I started to feel that I just want to be in my thoughts and just be silent. And that's what I did. I was walking alone.
Mm,
And then on the day 12, I was supposed to stay in this monastery in Padron, that's a small town in Spain. But I didn't because the night was too cold, and I decided next day that I will go and see it anyway because like it felt like I need to see it for some reason. And it was 45 minutes walk. So around 10 minutes before I get there, I see that the sun starts to raise from the mountain. And I look at the sun, and then I feel like my whole being it starts to fill with love, with like pure
oh,
feeling of happiness, with everything. And and it's like, you feel happy, but multiplied to 30. It was such a weird feeling. And then what happened next was even more weird because sun spoke to me. I'm not religious and never been. So, so the sun spoke to me, and I had a strong feeling that it was Elagabalus, which is a Rome god of sun.
Oh.
And the sun asked me, like, do you want to know where this all comes from? And, like, I feel so great. Like, like nothing can be better. This is like absolute happiness I can ever be. And I tell the sun, no.
Wow. You said no?
I said, no.
Oh, were you just
Because,
scared?
no, I
Oh,
was so happy and I did
yeah.
not care about it at all. And
Wow.
like, and the sun said that it will ask me again once I'm ready. And it just, like, and the feeling stayed with me for like another 10 minutes until I reached this monastery. And then it like started to fade away. But imagine like being in absolute happiness multiplied by 30 for 10 minutes. Like I never had anything like that. And it was
Wow.
13 day of my Camino, like 13 day of walking. Yeah, and like of course, next 4 hours, I was beating myself up for saying no. Like,
Yeah.
why would anybody say no?
Yeah. Oh, man. But you know what?
Yeah.
That goes to show you have to take another trip there, maybe next year,
Yes,
you
that's
know?
what I think as well. But that has never happened to me, and it
Mhm.
was the best feeling I've ever had in my life.
Wow. That's
And also now,
amazing.
now I can call myself crazy because God spoke to me.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't call that crazy at all. It's your being. It's just like, it's just meant, I don't know how to say it. It's not just like meant to be, but it was just like that moment was just meant for you in a way, if that makes sense, you know?
Yes.
It's like the universe telling you, like it's okay. Wow. And then you went to the monastery a couple of minutes later. Wow. That is
Yeah.
really very creepy. That has to be the most creepiest and coolest thing I've had on the podcast so far. So, thank you so much for being a guest. Links to her game will be below. Anything else you want to let the watchers of the house know about Sucks to Be in the Sticks? And I know it's like early 2026. If you have an exact date, you can share. If not, later on, we'll definitely like promote it and stuff like that when you reach back out. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for
Mm-hmm.
having me and planning on the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make it very, very perfect. Like I'm
Yeah.
not a perfectionist, but I want things to be done.
Yep.
And I really hope that people will immerse into those mini games when you drink blood, when you drink energy, and like understand all that darkness and pain people are going through.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yuki. And you have a great evening. It's like almost 7 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. over there. So thank you so much. And guys, thank you for listening to the Looks Creepy Cool podcast. Always remember, follow the fear. The house is waiting. And if it looks creepy, it must be cool. Take care, guys.
Want more chills and chatter? We're streaming on all podcast platforms.